Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here with us tonight on this lovely evening. My name is Kaley Garrity, and today my partner Claudia Russell and I will be telling you a little bit about dreams. So, just by a quick show of hands, who here has had a dream before? Okay, so it seems like most of us. So, a fun fact is that everyone actually dreams every night. A lot of people claim that they never dream, or you may dream some nights and not other nights, but actually, every night when you fall asleep, you have a dream. You just may not remember it. So, what are dreams? Dreams are images, emotions, and thoughts that occur during sleep. Though they're unique and diverse for each individual, they do have some common characteristics, including they're usually in first person point of view, they're usually illogical or incoherent, and they usually contain content from the dreamer's waking life. Now, let's dive into what's actually happening in our brains. Every night when we fall asleep, we go through sleep cycles that last about 90 minutes each. These sleep cycles are made of two major stages. The first is non-REM or non-rapid eye movement. This is about 75% of the time we're asleep, so it's the majority. It's our deep restorative sleep. It's when our brain is kind of resting and our brain waves are slowed down, and it's just when our body has time to repair itself. The other stage is REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement. It's about 25% of the time we're asleep. And during this time, our brain is very active. Our amygdala, which controls emotions, and our visual cortex are active. Meanwhile, our prefrontal cortex, which is involved in our reasoning and our logic, is actually inactive. This is when our brain uses our memories and emotions to create new stories. So now that we know what dreaming is, I'll hand it over to Claudia to tell us the why.
Yeah, so just like Kaylee mentioned, there's a lot of science behind dreaming. And dreams are our natural language of the brain. Every night, your brain uses images, scenarios, and symbols to express emotions and inner state of questions. This is kind of like our brain's processing system, consolidating memories and processing feelings and emotions. While you sleep, your brain is sorting through your memories that day and deciding what to send to long term storage and what to discard. There's also some external and physical factors that kind of impact our dreaming. Some of those are spicy foods, certain medications, or even indigestion. And these can trigger vivid and wild dreams that some studies have found. Now, there's many different theories when it comes to dreaming that kind of impact the why, but all of these dream theories focus on understanding the nature and purpose of our dreams. So I have three of the different theories here on the screen. There's so many that you can look at that you can use to interpret your dreams, but here are three that I kind of researched a lot more about. With the first one on the screen, this is the activation synthesis dream theory. And in this one, circuits in the brain become active during our REM sleep. And this triggers the amygdala and the hippocampus, just like Kaylee was talking about earlier, to create an array of electrical impulses that cause our dreams. The next one is the self-organization theory. And this is just kind of like the name sounds. Our sleep allows our brain to self-organize our dreams, to consolidate and process all of the information and the memories that we had that day. And some experts suggest that during this process, our dreams are a byproduct or even an active part of experiencing and processing the memories that day. The last dream theory that we looked into was the continuity hypothesis dream theory. And in this one, our dreams are a reflection of the real person's life. So incorporating some of our conscious experiences into our dreams. And this is more rather than straightforward replay of walking through our day-to-day life. It's more of replaying patchworks of our memories or fragments of some of what we have experienced each day. So now Kaley's going to move into the dark side of dreaming.
Now, while some dreams are pleasant, others can cause a lot of fear. Now, we've all had nightmares at some point in our lives, but though they may seem scary, they're actually a way for us to process our fear, trauma, and stress from our everyday lives. They're more common in children, but in a majority of adults, an occasional nightmare is nothing to worry about. Now, when chronic nightmares appear, it may be a symptom of some more serious disorders. Now let's look at the other side of dreaming, lucid dreams. Lucid dreaming is a unique phenomenon that occurs when the dreamer becomes aware that they are dreaming while immersed in the dream. This allows them to have control of their actions and often the content in the dream. Scientists have found that the reason behind this is because the prefrontal cortex becomes slightly active instead of completely inactive like in normal dreams. Now, while most people don't experience lucid dreaming, let's talk a little bit more about some dreams that you may have had. Claudia?
Yeah. So next we're discussing common dreams. Common dreams often reflect our stress, our anxiety, fears, and our daily life emotions. And these dreams often highlight those vulnerabilities and insecurities in our daily life experience. Some of the most common dreams that people have can be falling, maybe your teeth falling out, being naked in public, being chased. There's a plethora of common dreams, but in each of these dreams, they replicate and symbolize something different in our lives. And you may have had one of these dreams before. And I challenge you to think a little bit further about what this dream might have represented to you. Lastly, wrapping up our presentation, it's probably the question that you're asking yourself and that I've asked myself the most about dreams is why do we forget our dreams? So our dreams most commonly happen during our REM sleep, like Kaley had mentioned, that rapid eye movement. And during this time, our brain activity is pretty similar to our active brain activity when we're awake. But just like she had mentioned, some of those things are inactive. And the area of our brain that transfers memories to long-term storage is mostly deactivated during that REM sleep and while we're asleep, causing us to forget most of our dreams. So ultimately, you decide what your dreams mean to you. Dreams are illustrations from the book of your soul is writing about you. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. Does anybody have any questions?
I actually have a question. So, how come sometimes when I dream, I can remember it, but sometimes I don't?
Yeah, so just like I had mentioned in the presentation, some of our dreams happen during REM sleep. And during that REM sleep, you don't always remember those dreams because those parts of your brain, the amygdala and the hippocampus, are actually inactivated. And so that's why you're not going to remember those as much. But some of your dreams happen during lighter sleep. And that different parts of your brain are active and inactive during lighter sleep. And so you may remember parts of those or have fragments of those memories. Does anybody else have any other questions?
I have a question. If we sleepwalk, are we dreaming while we're sleepwalking?
So that is actually a very common question. It's actually a misconception. A lot of people believe that they sleepwalk within their dreams, but sleepwalking actually occurs during your non-REM sleep, and it happens when the rest of your brain is inactive, it's resting, and then the motor cortex in your brain gets activated. And it's usually just due to some type of problem in the brain or issue, but it's actually not during your dreams or REM sleep. So, any other questions? No? Okay, well, thank you all for listening today. I hope you learned a little bit about dreams, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you.
Thank y'all.